The best thing what you can do for yourself is to forgive and move on, and then
release it.
You release it because it's for your best. It's for your health. It's for your well-being. You don't want to be sick because someone hurt you, I don't know how many years ago, decades ago.
Hey you, Brooke Jean here with Brooke Jean Unperfected. I'm a licensed professional counselor, coach, mama, and your keep it real guide to the freedom that's available to you in a life unperfected. If you're a high-achieving, perfectionistic, often anxious woman feeling stuck, frozen, and maybe even downright frustrated, you're in the right place. If you're anything like me, you've done everything society told you to do that would promise you success. You've got the job, you've got the husband, you've got the car, you've got the vacations, you've got the 401k, and yet underneath it all, when you're really honest with yourself, you're deeply disconnected and unfulfilled. Here is where we talk about letting go of who you think you're supposed to be so that you can get busy creating a life that you actually love. Everything healing, revealing, and rising is on the table. And we don't hold anything back around here. So buckle up, babe, because you are entering a vortex of your most juicy transformation. One where we dethrone perfectionism so you can access more energy, creativity, and vitality. I am so happy and grateful that you are here. Hello, 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 beautiful mama. Welcome back to the Unperfected Pod. I am so happy and grateful that you are here. This week, we have another juicy interview for you on the show. I got the chance to sit down with Edith B. Kiss. Yes, that is her name, Edith B. Kiss, who is a holistic therapist, success habit coach, #1 best-selling author, Humanitarian Award winner, and international speaker. Edith originally was a petroleum engineer working in the petroleum industry for 15 years before becoming a full-time life coach. During those years, she trained to become a Reiki Master, a Sekhem Healer, and a Karma Yogi. And you guys, I am a fan of any and all healing modality. I definitely love finding a couple that work for you and blending them together, like putting together your own special formula. And so I love chatting with other healers about their take on things like trauma and perfectionism and what helps and what heals, and just gathering information. We take what resonates, we leave what doesn't. But this was such a beautiful and deep conversation with Edith. Make sure that you let us know on Instagram what your takeaways are and enjoy this episode. Welcome back to the Unperfected Pod. Lovely, beautiful listener. I am so excited for the guest that I have on the show today. Edith B. Kiss. Can we first just talk about how beautiful this name is? Welcome to the show. First of all, welcome to the show. And then let's talk about how beautiful your name is. What is going on here?
Hi, Brooke. Thank you so much for having me. Yes, everybody's questioning. Sometimes they think I just made it up, But actually, I was born with this name. I'm from Hungary originally. And then in Hungary, this name is pretty simple. But in the English-speaking environment, it's a kind of funny. So, yes.
Yeah, when I saw it, because it literally looks like Edith B. Kiss. I was like, that is like a stage name. She created a beautiful stage name for her healing. But it's real. I love it. So, okay, let's start with the work that you do in the world and how you came into that, because I'm sure that there's some beautiful story in there. You said that you're from Hungary, so we can go back as early in time as you feel comfortable with. But tell us about how you arrived to the place where you're doing the beautiful work that you're doing in the world as well.
Yeah, so the first time I was actually get more introduced to spiritual healing and helping myself to heal, it was because I started to experience panic attacks. I loved traveling. I was a big traveler in my 20s. I went to different countries, other side of the ocean. And then I was actually in Mexico that time when I first experienced panic attacks. And I didn't know what's happening. I didn't know what was going on. What am I experiencing? I didn't even know it was panic attacks. I just knew
Mm-hmm.
something was wrong. And then when I returned back to Hungary, I was like, I need to find something which is not medication. I didn't want to take, any drugs. So I was like, let's find some natural remedies. And that's how I got introduced to Reiki healing. And then the Reiki healing stayed with me for many years, just not just managing my panic attacks, but also helping with all kinds of relationship issues, all kinds of health issues. And with my Reiki Master, I also experienced family constellation therapies, and then we went to learn more like extra sense healings and techniques, opening the third eye, doing some spiritual stuff. So I really enjoyed that, and it was kind of my sanctuary, my hobby, besides being a petroleum engineer. So I was actually a petroleum engineer for 15 years, and that was my profession. I also had 2 children, and this spirituality was more like, as I said, a hobby, and also to dealing with my own issues. And while I was also becoming a practitioner, Reiki practitioner, I just used it on myself and on my family, basically, at the beginning. And later on, when I went to a contractor position, I actually also did the Reiki Master certificate, and I was introduced to Karma Yoga healing, but very accidentally. I was just invited to translate the guru from English to Hungarian, and then I ended up loving what I was learning, like the Samadhi meditation. It was like so profound, and the mindfulness, what he was teaching. So it was like I arrived home kind of feeling, and
Mm-hmm.
it's completely changed my mind and my trajectory. And I started to experience like breadcrumbs from the universe. It was like lots of synchronicities started to happen and went just crazy. So basically I decided that I will finish the practitioner as a Karma Yoga healer. And I also moved to London to open my practice basically as a healer. I was still doing engineering work for like a year, but I was already in the path because I had already the knowing that this is what I want to show to other people and help them to heal, because it's so deep, it's so great. It's just really heals so many things. Like, for example, I had always like pelvic infection. So it was like a pattern. I know many women is suffering with that. And it was always coming back to me like several times a year. And then I had to take antibiotics, and then it was uncomfortable. And it was always there since I remember, since like teenage years, And then
Mm-hmm.
what happened is that I got really sick. I already learned Karma Yoga healing, and suddenly I was really sick with this. And I even had a high fever and everything. And I was like, let's do the source memory healing on myself now. And what happened is, finally, I got introduced to a doctor who knew how to deal with this properly. So how source memory healing works is just that when we go back to the past to heal the roots, and then we enter the karma vortex, basically we enter the multidimensional existence we have, it's attracting the right solution to your issues. So it's attracted the right person dealing with my
Mm-hmm.
thing and finding the solution. So he gave me the right medications, right time for the right period. And basically since then, it was 6 years ago, I had no more other symptoms, nothing. So it stopped basically.
Wow.
And because what happens also that when you heal the root, the trigger is also going to stop. You're not going to attract similar lessons, or similar situations anymore, which brings you to the same issue because you dealt with it. You already released it from your system. So that's why it's so a great tool, because you can use it for so many things. For example, I was also struggling with speaking on videos, right? I
Mm-hmm.
was an introvert child. I didn't like to improvise. I didn't know what to say, how to say. And then back in 2017 was the first time when I was in an entrepreneur feelings like, oh, I want to do something on the social media, and I was learning this. And then the group of people were telling me like, oh, just practice daily videos. And then I was always froze, like when I had like, I wrote down everything what I want to say, and then I forgot, and then I froze. And then when I did the source memory healing, it turned out that when I was a teenager and I went on a competition and I had to improvise and then I failed, that was like a big trauma for me because I failed the whole competition basically. And I was crying and then I felt really bad about it. And as soon as I healed that, immediately I was able to start speaking on camera, and then I never stopped since. So it was just like that.
Okay. All right. This is so juicy. Let's go to the beginning. What exactly is source memory healing for someone who's never heard of this before?
Yeah. So it's a Karma Yoga healing technique.
Did you say Karma Yoga?
Healing technique, yeah.
Okay, Karma Yoga healing technique.
Yeah, because within Karma Yoga healing, there are many techniques we use. One of the techniques is source memory healing, which we use for specifically trauma release and stopping the triggers, basically. And because we stop the triggers and release the traumas, you also prevent diseases, or you can heal from diseases. So basically, when you are experiencing cancer, it's happening to you because you have unresolved traumas. And then as soon as you deal with it, and then the doctors also help you to heal your cancer, you're not going to have a new cancer. That's what I'm saying. It stops the pattern, basically. The source memory healing is stopping patterns, is releasing from the core, so you're not experiencing same things anymore. So, and it's basically trauma healing process. It's a very gentle but very profound and with long-lasting results. So when I compare this to energy healing, because I did the energy healing, I am also a Reiki Master, and I work with energy healing also. How I compare this together is like energy healing for me is a quick fix, while the source memory healing is a long-lasting, profound work which really can heal stuff and stop those kind of things in your life. Because when you use only energy healing, you need to come back for another boost whenever you get sick again. You need to come back for another treatment, or the triggers will still not stop. The triggers will still come. And what the triggers does, they affecting your energy centers, they blocking your chakras, and that's why you're getting sick. So when you always hit by triggers, you always ruining basically your energy centers, you're blocking them, you're always getting sicker and sicker, your vitality, your whatever is blocked, is getting sick, and that's how you got the diseases. And that's why I love when people comes to me already in their early 20s or 30s, to deal with things and then heal, because then they already prevent to become, sick in the future when they are 40s, 50s, when it's all piling up, basically. And yeah.
So this is a different way to look at illness than what we're sold in Western medicine.
Yes.
So are you saying that illness, dis-ease in the body, is a result of stuck trauma and blocked energy?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So
say more about that, because that's like a new concept to a lot of people that are probably listening to this podcast, right?
Yeah. So basically, when you're experiencing, for example, you're doing your daily situations and then you're experiencing anger, you feel angry because something happens in the office or with the children. Suddenly you feel angry, you feel disappointed, you maybe feel rage. That's already a sign that you have an unresolved trauma. This can be a childhood trauma, young adulthood trauma, anything like that. And basically, if you don't release that trauma, then this anger can become later cancerian or diabetes or heart disease or whatever it is becomes. It depends actually which chakra is blocked with that anger and then what area is affected in your body. So it's also related to different things. For example, the sacral chakra is very important because sacral chakra, when you have illnesses around the sacral chakra I can show it behind me.
Yeah.
This sacral chakra is the lower belly area.
Lower belly. Yep.
There is the intestines, the womb, those areas, the kidneys, lower back pain. So when people are experiencing illnesses around that, with their digestive system, with their kidneys, with their lower back, it's related to relationships. It's related to relationship issues, whatever is unresolved there, abuse, squirrel, like fights, whatever is there. And even though might you are experiencing a beautiful relationship right now, but you had bad relationships in the past, you can still start to have these physical pains and then these issues because might you got triggered just a little by something, and this just start the process to make it deeper, like it's manifesting into physical pain basically after a while. And I know many women who has to take their womb out, or many people is suffering with intestines issues, inflammation,
IBS.
digestion issues, is all relationship related. So that
Oh.
needs to be released from the past, when they went through certain abuse maybe, or they went through certain negative relationships and so on and so forth. And then many people is suffering from financial issues. And then that's the root chakra. And the root chakra is also related to your legs. So if you have like leg pain, or if you have an accident where you start feeling your knee or your ankles, that's related to your roots, which is also represents your connections to your parents. So to have a great connection with your parents is actually helping your finances. And the great connection with parents means forgive them however they treated you, basically. It doesn't mean you need to call them and say, I love you, if they treated you really badly. It doesn't mean you have to have the best face to your alcoholic parents. No, it doesn't mean that. You need to forgive within yourself. You need to acknowledge that that was the best way they could deal with you. That was their best possible way, because they had some other issues probably as well. So then you just need to be in peace inside of you, because I know that many people, it feels like, oh, I cannot forgive because that justifies their rights, whatever they've done to me. But it has nothing to do with that. You can still say they were wrong. You can still say whatever has happened was wrong. But now I forgive them. It's the past. I let it go. I understand it was a different situation, a different era, whatever. They were affected. What you need to understand that you only operate only 5% of the time with your conscious mind. Anything else is subconscious or superconscious. So whoever hurt you, you need to understand that they were most likely hurt you because of the programming, social or environmental things, how they grew up, or because of the superconscious, which means any karma, any ancestral karma, whatever had to come into that soul family situation, or even astrological things, when people goes mad at full moon. So there are so many things which can affect a situation and action, why certain people is hurting you or taking action against you. And it's really not like you can't really point your finger that was that person who hurt me, because there is so many other things which were in play at that moment. It's as I said. And then I had client the person was actually abused by several people at the same time. And as soon as she said the name of the person, that person snapped back into consciousness and stopped the process. So it showed that it was a process they were like, how can I say, lured into that action by others, like when you have an environment and they telling you, oh, do it, like many people is there, and then they hurting one person, at the same time. And then finally, so they are like in a mass subconscious going on there, right? Yeah. And then as soon as you say the name of one person, it snaps back to reality and realize what's happening, and then pull himself out of the situation. Right?
Oh, you're saying in the moment,
your
client said the name and he came to consciousness and stopped.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, wow.
So that shows that so many times when these kind of things happen, that person is not in their consciousness, they are subconsciously following something, but is not them actually. That's why I'm saying that is so difficult to actually, how you cannot point your finger on one person when something happens to you, because there's so many other things in the equation, basically. So the best thing what you can do for yourself is to forgive and move on, and then
Release it.
you release it, because it's for your best. It's for your health. It's for your well-being. You don't want to be sick because someone hurt you, I don't know how many years ago, decades ago. I had clients who suffered from PTSD for 30, 40 years, and then they couldn't release it with speaking therapy. They couldn't heal it with hypnotherapy, and finally this source memory healing was the tool which eventually stopped it. When you take the responsibility to heal yourself, to start this healing journey, you're not just healing yourself, you're healing your whole soul family. So it's like a ripple effect, like you started, but then it's affecting everyone, because the whole healing, as I do the release, I release it from many layers, not just from you.
That's so big. So, all right, there's so many things I want to ask you. I feel like I know intuitively that when we hold on to things like resentment, rage, trauma, all of it, it makes us sick, right? We see that a lot right now with autoimmune diseases. So 80% of the autoimmune are in women, because what do? We take everything on and we stuff our resentment and our feelings about it. But let's say I come to you, so many of my listeners probably have stomach issues. Like, we have the anxiety, which messes with our stomach. So let's say we come to you, right? Let's say I come to you and I have IBS, and I say my stomach has been upset. I'm also suffering with anxiety, maybe some panic attacks. What's the work that you're going to do? What is the source memory healing going to look like? Like, walk me through a process. You don't have to do it on me, but walk us through how you would work with that.
Yeah, so already the stomach and anxiety and the stomach issue is already showing me solar plexus blockage. So solar plexus is blocked when you have low self-esteem, you feel unworthy and not good enough. You could feel this way maybe because you wanted to put out your work and somebody didn't like it, or you were doing something and you were not appreciated for it, maybe your husband didn't like your cooking, or whatever happened, or people are around you criticizing you, judging you every day, and then that's why you have that. I used to have that when I was married, and then my husband came home, and then I was just like, no, what's going to have the next criticism, right? What he's going to say. So that's why you have that kind of issue, stomach and anxiety, because you are just like, how other people are gonna tell things about me, or how they, what's their perspective about me. So it's always, most of the time is that. So actually the solar plexus is the easiest to unblock. I would definitely, if it's like a long-term thing, I would definitely do the source memory healing, because it brings you back to a childhood memory when people told you are not good enough, or people told you are stupid, or people told you you're doing a bad job or something, it could come from there. But I would say for a quick fix, but also for a subconscious reprogramming, you can start telling yourself amazing things about yourself. And this already start to release and balance back your solar plexus. For example, if you every day you look into the mirror and you say, you are a badass, freaking amazing person, and then I love you and you are amazing, and you say it to yourself like this, then that's gonna start working. That's going to start to heal you, because you don't care anymore what other people says about you, because you know you are the best, right? So if you have that kind of encouragement, empowerment, that you are able to put down maybe like 10 sentences about yourself with the highest respect, with the best things ever, and you're telling it to yourself as you are way, because that's how you heard it when you were a little, that you are stupid. So basically you're using it maybe in a mirror and saying you are this, you are that. That's very powerful to releasing solar plexus blockages and healing this kind of anxiety and stomach issues. That's the first thing I would start with. And then the source memory healing, to going back to see the roots, is basically we start with the samadhi meditation. Samadhi meditation brings you into transcendental state. We need to transcend to communicate with the unconscious mind. Why is that? I heard from many therapists that what they do, they try to find consciously the memory which can, can be related to the situation. Like, oh, do you remember this? Do you remember that? But it's not the way. You can't consciously find the roots. You need
That's
to
right.
go to the unconscious. So
Yes.
basically, when you transcend in a samadhi meditation, then we connect with the unconscious mind. And then first we bring up, okay, what's the current issue? So we come up with the current issue. I have stomach pain. I feel this. I feel that. And how this stomach pain makes you to feel. Makes me feel angry or sad or hopeless, helpless, disappointed, whatever. So we collect all the negative emotions. And then where is the sensation in your body? So we tune into the body. And then we ask the unconscious mind to calibrate and find the memories which are matching with this. So then the unconscious mind is putting the memories out one by one into your awareness, basically, and we step into the memories one by one and release them one by one. So when we step into, for example, let's say first memory, I was 4 years old, I was in the kindergarten, and a girl pulled off my panties, and then everybody was laughing at me, for
Mm-hmm.
example. Or I
Mm-hmm.
peed in my pants when I was on the stage in school because I was scared to go out to the toilet because we were singing or whatever. There are
Yeah.
many stories like this. So
Yeah.
basically, you go into that memory, and then I'm asking the person like how that memory made you feel. And then, oh, I was embarrassed. I felt guilty or ashamed or angry or sad. So they're saying all of these negative emotions. And when I do the release, basically they come out of the memory, and then I start to release it to the supreme pure consciousness from all the layers of their existence. And then I tell them to invoke back to light and love and security and safety. So basically replace all of this negativity with positivity. And then at the end, I ask them if they are able to forgive to the people
Mm.
who hurt them and to themselves. So when most of the time after the release process, they are able to forgive. But there are still sometimes clients who say, I can't, I still cannot, even though we released all of those negative emotions, because maybe it was a really terrible experience. Then I need to guide them through the process, which I was just explaining about the subconscious, superconscious percentage, and karma and ancestral karma, how many things can be there in the equation, why that person hurt you. So then they get a different perspective and they say, yeah, I can forgive now. I had clients who had issue with the universe. Can you imagine that? They had to forgive to the universe, putting them in this physical body. I was
Mhm.
dealing with clients who were not happy being a human, who
Yeah.
felt completely unhappy being a human, why I need to do this, why I am here. We went back to past life traumas when they were up there somewhere, higher dimensions, choosing or not choosing to come to earth. And then they had to come to earth, and then they had to forgive to the universe that they are actually here now. So I'm going through crazy
Wow.
stories. I really enjoy it, these
Yeah.
travels, back and forth. But it happens that there are situations like this, because when I'm dealing with clients, sometimes they come to me with physical issues. Their body is full of physical pain. They are going through diseases, as you said about the immune. How you call that? Autoimmune.
Autoimmune. Oh yeah. Do you guys
Autoimmune.
not have that where you are?
Yeah. So
Okay.
autoimmune illnesses is basically, there are so many things going on, right? And then they feel like they are tired of this life. They feel like I can't enjoy this anymore. Why I am here? I just don't feel like I belong. And then why is this whole life is going on? So then is the thing that it turns out that even before they come here, they did not agree to come here, right? And then they have this conversation with the universe that why I am here when it's so suffering, when I can't enjoy it, and so on and so
Mhm.
forth. So it's so great because after they spend with me a 30 days, they actually get back on enjoying life. Even people who's coming to me like, they just don't like it, they don't feel like doing it, they have all these pains in their body, blah blah. But then we go through a couple of sessions and they start building like the habit of meditating every day from my meditation library. After a month they say, now I can actually move forward, now I actually have a vision, and then I'm so happy because it's like they come with giving up on the whole thing, and then now they back on track again, they enjoying being who they are, and it's just so beautiful. So that's why I do what I do.
That's extraordinary. So how do you release the memory from their energy, and how do you bring back in the light? Like how does that happen? Is that through Reiki? Like,
No, no,
how do
no.
you do
It's
that?
words. It's words. I'm just talking to Supreme Pure Consciousness. I'm just saying certain words, certain sentences to go through the layers, and that's
Hmm.
it. Yeah.
And then we just release it?
Yeah, because I'm telling you to breathe, I'm telling you to imagine this, imagine that. So basically, I'm
Okay.
guiding you through a process when you can release it. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's so cool. When you were saying that you had the client who was angry at the universe, I started some pretty intense energy healing last year, and my energy healer found a deeply rooted subconscious belief that I had, which was that God hates me.
Mm.
And if you can imagine, having that belief and not knowing you have it, and the shame that that creates. And how we got there was because I brought her in because I wanted to open my heart more full. I could just feel that even though I had so much love and I have this big mission and all this, I just make people smile, but I could feel my heart wasn't fully open. It was clogged. And I was curious about why that was and how to heal it and how to open my heart. And so, her process, I still don't totally understand what y'all are doing. I'm going to be real with you. I'm like, her name is Rose Magic. And I'm like, what is this magic that you're doing? This energy healing, Reiki magic where you're talking to my subconscious and you're moving things around and she's able to identify like transgenerational
Hmm.
stuck energy. And she could say like, we just moved, like we're moving energy from 21 generations back about being taken for granted. I still don't understand how it's working, but I can tell you that it's working. And this is why I get so excited to have conversations about all the different healing modalities, because I don't think there's a one size fits all. I'm a therapist and I do brain spotting, and we do the work with the subconscious and the body as well. And you're working with the subconscious and the energy and the body. So there's beautiful overlap, but it's also just so good to know what all the different modalities are, because if one isn't working for you, then go do your Reiki, go to do your therapy, go do your EMDR, go do your energy healing, go do your source memory healing, go do your somatic reprocessing. Like, be open to all of it, because you never know which one is really going to be the thing that unlocks something for you. And usually it's a combination of things, but I still can't explain what exactly is happening in the magic that people like you and my energy healer are doing, to be honest with you.
The heart chakra, it could be blocked from certain emotions such as grief, sorrow, shame, also feeling abandoned by parents, and loneliness. So
Mm.
that's why when during COVID time, there was so many people suffering from heart disease and chest, like the lungs,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
this was all, they brought up all of this. They brought up the loneliness, they brought up the sorrow, the grief, losing
Mm,
many people, and showing always in the television, like you've seen like everywhere what's happening. So it's the sorrow.
yeah.
And when they say like basically the movies are programming us and the TV is programming us, and the horror movies and the dramas, the thrillers, they are actually not good for us, obviously, because they are creating these negative emotions. You feel sad, you feel angry, you feel these negative emotions. And I know that, when I see on Instagram or I see it somewhere, like some therapist posting that, oh, it's okay to be sad, it's okay to be angry, it's a normal human feeling. For me, it's freaking dangerous to be sad. It's freaking dangerous to be angry. Like, you should, as soon as you feel angry or sad and you don't know how to release it from the root, I recommend you to shift it to good thing, to happiness. Immediately think about something great, because that's how you can save yourself. Because whatever you are angry about, whatever you are sad about, you can't change it anymore. It's already happened, right? So what
Mhm.
you can do, just immediately think about something sunny, beautiful, amazing, and just put your perspective into that, not allowing that a negative emotion to bring you into the rabbit hole, because that's when it's you making more damage on yourself. So
But
it's
isn't that classic spiritual bypassing though? That to me because what you're suggesting, if we're having sadness or a bad memory, thinking of a positive one is in the conscious mind, but the trauma is stuck in the unconscious and in the body. So we have to move that out. To me, just thinking a positive thought does not get to the root of the suffering.
No, it's not. But
Yeah.
nothing else. I mean, but yourself, if you don't know the tool to get to the root, then don't go
Got
to
it.
the rabbit hole. You know,
Got it. Got
most
it.
of the people don't has the tool, you know,
Yeah.
how to
Yes.
release the root. So they
Yes.
just bringing themselves into the rabbit hole and staying there suffering. And that's what is blocking the chakras and making you sick. If you don't know how to release it from the root, don't go there.
Got it.
Don't journal, don't go there. Just shift yourself out as soon as possible and do something what you enjoy. Sing, dance, eat ice cream, I don't care. Do something what makes you happy.
Those are all my favorite things.
I mean, don't stay there because that's just ruining you, you know?
Okay. So you're saying the people that don't have the tools, right? That don't know this deeper work, instead of perpetuating your unpleasant feeling and the thoughts, shift it, which I agree with that completely. I feel like
what's happening in the body is, you know, when you get triggered, you feel in the negative emotions, it start blocking the chakras and making you sick. So when you stop, when you realize, when you have the awareness that, oh, I'm feeling negative, I'm stopping it now, at least you saving your next piling up of your triggers, you know, like you basically not allowing your chakras to get blocked again. If you are already been, for example, on a Reiki healing and then you balanced all your chakras, you don't want to get them blocked again. So whenever you feel negative, the trigger's not going to stop until you don't do the deep work. That's obvious. So the trigger is going to hit you until you don't do the deep work. But you can still be mindful and say, okay, the trigger is coming, but I'm not going to react on it. I'm going to be just happy. I don't care, you know? So because as many times they say happiness is your choice, and it's truly your choice. You know, you can actually, mindfulness is all about controlling your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. I always say to my clients, don't make decisions from negative emotions. Don't make decisions, especially if it's like a life-changing decision. Sleep on it, you know, or count or whatever. But don't allow that. Always go back to neutral or positive before you make a decision on something big, you know. So not being in negative emotions is really important for your well-being, for your health and the mindfulness. So what people can also do immediately for them to have this shift faster and easier, because sometimes they say, oh, I just feel so bad. I don't know how to go from this place to gratitude, because, you know, gratitude, bliss, and joy is the high vibrational emotions. And then if you are in anger and sadness and grief, how you pick yourself out from there and put it, you know, into the high. So that's where is the samadhi meditation coming in to play, that only doing samadhi meditation, not even going into source memory healing, but just the samadhi meditation, the transcendental part, is helping you to start producing the necessary hormones on a boost. For example, melatonin, serotonin, growth hormone, oxytocin, and these all helps you to be in a better mood. It all helps you to become a kinder and better person because of the oxytocin. Also brings you more vitality because of the growth hormone. So these hormones are mostly produced in deep sleep, but you are not always having that deep sleep. You know, many people is suffering from insomnia. So then just doing a daily samadhi meditation is going to help you to do this shift much easier and become more mindful easier. You know, I heard from many of my clients who were not even my clients, they were just doing my meditations. They already said that people around them recognized that they were changing. You know, they are not snapping, you know, that fast. You know, they are more calm, more relaxed. Actually, people can try this meditation on my YouTube channel for free. I have a playlist there on Magical Karma Priestess. That's my YouTube channel.
Okay.
And you just go to the playlist, and I have several meditations there, which is like life-changing and life-saving. So the Samadhi, for example, Samadhi meditation is there. Also, I have a whole night sleep-long meditation for people suffering from insomnia. I also have a meditation for anger issue. I also have a meditation for intoxication. So if you suffer from addictions, any kind of addictions, you can do the intoxication meditation. And there is one for manifestation. If you love manifesting with a pyramid, secret geometry, then that's also, because when you do,
I want all of those. I need all those. I need give me the playlist. I need them all. We'll link that in the show note for sure.
Awesome.
What were you going to say? Keep going.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that some being in a transcendental state is connect with the unconscious, but it's also connect with the superconscious. So it's basically taking you into your multidimensional existence, which makes it easier also to manifest, to
Mhm.
bring your wishes closer, and also to going into these different layers of your existence. And it's just basically make your life more able to bring in the solutions, to your life. So it's like many people is living their life in this little bubble, like in their physical existence with their five senses. But when you start opening up your other layers, then you realize that there is so many things which affecting your little life. It's not just you. Sometimes people wake up in the morning and like, what's going on with me? Why I'm feeling this way? Why I'm feeling that way? Why is this? Why is that? And many times it's just like you check astrology and you realize there is a constellation going on. That's why you feel that way. And then some
Mhm.
people is like, what's wrong with me? Wow, what's going on? They sometimes looking for answers like inside or with their body, something wrong with their body or something. And sometimes it's just happening outside, but it's affecting them. So the first thing to be more calm is to accept what's going on first, and then being in that acceptance, allow yourself to rest, allow yourself to just be, not be a human being, not a human doing. This
Mhm.
hustle lifestyle is sometimes don't allow people just to rest. I know people who's in 9 to 5, they wake up in the morning, they realize they are sick, they just grab a medication, they just take something and they go to work even if they have a flu, instead of resting or recuperating or something. So it's really the culture which pushing people into their limits, and making them even more miserable.
Yeah. So how do you know the difference? Like, because that resonates a lot. I feel up and down and sideways every day, and I never know if it's perimenopause, mental health, the stars, the collective energy. And I'm sensitive. I'm very sensitive to energy. I'm realizing this. You said earlier, like once you open up your consciousness, so many things drop in that are going to guide your soul's evolution, right? And so the second that I kind of started awakening and opening up, a lot of things have come through, all these different modalities, understanding a lot of like my sensitivities and my spiritual gifts and all of that. It all started kind of flooding in of like, oh, okay, here's what's going on. So with all that being said, every day, I don't know what the hell I'm going to get when I wake up in the morning. So how does one decipher this is just much bigger than me versus this is a source of suffering that's going to make me sick if I don't go to the root and heal it? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, there is always, I told you about the quick fix, right? I told you about
Yeah.
the energy healing is a quick fix. You can always do the quick fix. Like when you wake up in the morning and you feel in a certain way, you can always start working on yourself energetically to go through the day. You know what I'm saying? So to bring yourself back into the alignment, bring yourself back into a strength, certain phase. I'm not saying that it works in any occasion. If you have like a really bad flu, then probably you just need to rest. You can't pack yourself up and then run, but because that's what your body needs. But in certain situations, like if you have just maybe a migraine or if you have maybe a back pain or something, so there are certain ways that you can actually heal that quickly. Why is that? Because these pains are energy as well. It means that there is a dense energy in that area of your body where you feel the pain. So you can take that dense energy out like this. And then you can also talk to your body. For example, when I feel that my hormones are off, as you said, the premenopause situation, you can
Mm-hmm.
talk to your body and say, please start to produce the hormones which I need to feel great. And then even though you said the thing like, yeah, we are affected by all of these layers and the universe and everything, but we are also the part of the universe. So we have the power to also change ourselves because everything is energy.
Mm-hmm.
So you are energetical being. So you can actually talk to your cells, you can actually impact your water body, and then your positive emotions are also good for your water body. So that's why you should be always happy, because that's how it's affecting your body. So when you wake up in the morning, that's why they say that it's so great if you have a purpose. It's so great when you have something to look forward to. Even I was looking into a course at Yale University about happiness. And guess what? They also came back with the results about, through statistics and, everything, analyzing people, that the biggest happiness is when you have something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
So always do something or plan something what you can look forward to, because if you just buy something for yourself and later you want to buy a new stuff, it's outdated after a while. You have a car, you buy a car, you are happy for a short period of time, then you want a new car. With your phone, the same thing. The other thing what they said it makes you happy is when you had an adventure and you think about that. So for example, you went on a vacation and then you were like, wow, that was my best vacation. And this always makes you happy when you think about it. So when you want to make yourself a happy life, go on adventures, but you can think back or plan little things. You don't need to plan big things. You can plan a meeting with someone. You can plan anything for the future, just to keep yourself excited about something which coming. And for me, it's like when I wake up in the morning, I know I will have sessions, I will have meetings, I will do this, I will do that. It's already excite me, So if you have in your life something which keeps you excited, that's really important. Yeah.
Was that Yale class, The Science of Happiness?
Yeah.
I took that. Did you get that? I remember they offered it for free during COVID.
Yeah,
and so
exactly.
I took it. Is that when you took it?
Yes, exactly.
Oh my God, what a small world. Yeah, I don't even know what pushed me to do that, because it was like I was so busy during that time. But that class was awesome. The Science of Happiness, a free class with Yale. We both took it from across the world. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, something to look forward to, meaning, purpose, being of service too. I remember that was a big part of it. It's like being of service puts you in a really clean energetic of like, people are waiting for me.
Yeah, but I don't want to pressure people too much, or, to have too much expectations. I don't want people to feel like, oh, I need to be someone, or I need to be significant, or I need to put myself out there. No, it's even if you look forward to a movie night, that's already amazing,
Yes.
Every little excitement counts.
Yeah. Well, and exactly. Like, yeah, there's, even if it's like your pet is so excited to see you, like you have to look at what you have in your life now and see the beauty of what is.
Counting
and so,
your blessings,
yeah, no, gratitude, man. It's no joke. Gratitude is the thing that shifts me. Like, I start my day and I usually, if I can, go into a morning ritual that involves a morning meditation and some breath work and some feminine embodiment movement and things like that. And even if I'm feeling really yucky, first of all, I'll connect to source energy and I'll immediately get recharged from like energy from the earth and energy from source. And I can feel myself coming back alive. And then I start to think about what I'm grateful for. And I cast my vision of like where I want to be and how I want to feel. And I go through this whole thing. And usually by the time I'm done, not every time, because sometimes it's a real shit show over here, but usually by the time I'm done, I feel alive and ready to go, and not always happy, but grateful, and that's a beautiful place to begin. So, okay, well, my love, I feel like we are just scratching the surface on what your magic is, but tell the beautiful people where they can connect with you to find out more.
Yeah, so I have a website, editbkiss.com, so you can have more information there. I also have my own show, which is Release with Ease. So that's every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Bold Brave TV. So it's on YouTube or Facebook as well. So I'm always coming with an hour show explaining you. Even I'm going to have, this Friday is going to be a Valentine's show, but then I will also do a group healing session in the coming weeks. So if someone is checking out that episode, And I do meditations, or I do some exercises or activities. It's always so much fun. So I really recommend people to tune into that. And my YouTube channel has the free meditation playlist, which is I highly recommend to everybody to start with if you have all kinds of issues going on. And I'm on Instagram as well, so people can reach out basically all of these platforms, and on Facebook, LinkedIn.
Oh, yeah, I love it. I'll have to check out your show. That's exciting. Thank you so much for bringing your magic to the show. And for the listener, thank you so much for your attention. I'm sure there was a nugget in here that serves you in your journey of growth and evolution. And until next time, take care of yourselves and therefore each other. Bye for now. Hey, babe, if you made it to this part of the show, I am so freaking happy for you. That means that you are dead serious about healing, revealing, and rising. And just by showing up for yourself in this way, you are sending a beautiful message to yourself and to the universe that you matter, that you are ready for more. And so don't be surprised if things start to flow your way. I would so appreciate it if you would rate and review the podcast on Apple and Spotify. The more reviews that we have, the more that it gets into the heads and hearts of more high-achieving, high-performing working mamas. Also, we love to get your feedback, so share with us what's landing. You can either DM me on Instagram, I'm at Brooke Jean unPerfected, or you can share a clip that really landed and tag me in it. I want this to be the most extraordinary co-creation where we are in this together, seeing what is possible for women worldwide. Thank you so much for being here. Take care of yourselves and therefore each other.